Hey guys, Nick here from Team ElementFreerunning, and today I'll be teaching you how to do a backflip. I'll demonstrate one first. Okay. The backflip is a dangerous trick, and if you have no experience with flips, don't try this directly onto a ground. First, try it into a pool, on a trampoline, or go to a local gym and ask someone to help you first. So the basic steps to a backflip are you jump as high as you possibly can. When you reach your peak, tuck your legs and you rotate back. Now when you're flipping, you jump up as high as you can and you stare at something for as long as you can. And then when you feel like, when you get to your highest peak, tuck your legs in, you rotate, and try and look at the same thing you were looking at as fast as you can. And that'll get you to flip. So now we're breaking down the backflip. So to get rid of your fear of going back, you're going to do a little trick called a macaco. The macaco is a squat down like this, put your one hand in front of you, take your other hand, put it right behind you, and what you're going to do is you're going to throw this arm over, kick out, and go over your head like this. After you can do a macaco, try and get it so that you can go as straight back as you can. After you get comfortable with going over your head, you're going to be doing a back handspring. For the back handspring, you want to find a spotter or someone to help you do the back handspring. I wouldn't recommend you trying this without a spotter, but if you don't have someone to help you, then try it onto a mat or on a trampoline first. Now I'll be demonstrating the back handspring with a friend. This is how you spot someone. You put your hand on their back for support, and if they need help, if they need it, you put your hand on their leg like this to help them rotate. Don't put your hand here directly because they need to set back like that, and they might hit your hand and it'll mess them up.
Your first back handspring with a spotter might look like this. Okay, once you get better at it, you'll be able to do it with less and less support until you're able to go over by yourself and somewhat land it.
This time I won't be using this hand.
When you first start it, you'll be landing very low to the ground, but that's okay for the first tries. Okay, so once you're comfortable doing it with the spotter, you'll eventually be able to do it by yourself. So if you don't have a spotter, you're just going to have to go for it and try going straight back. Here you have to trust yourself and just commit to it. If you don't, you'll end up landing on your head. So your first try will probably look something like this. And if you're able to make it over, that's perfectly okay. It's just getting used to it and getting over the fear. So you keep working on it, and then you'll be able to do a back handspring.
After you can do it on a mat or with a spotter, try it by yourself. Okay, so now it's time to switch from the back handspring to the backflip. So what you're going to do for the backflip is first, you're going to pick something to stare at. So you jump up and stare at that one thing the whole time. Like that. When you start out jumping, what I like to do is I bring my hands here, then I bring them back, and then when I'm bringing them forward, I like dip them down and almost touch the ground, and then I throw them up as high as I can. Throwing them up will get your momentum to go up and yourself to jump higher. So just stare at that one thing and jump up as high as you can. When you reach your peak, which is the highest part until you start going back down, that's when you're going to tuck your legs in. So just jump up and then tuck your legs in. When you get comfortable with that, it's time to actually try the backflip. First you want to get a spotter, like you did last time for the back handspring. If you don't have a spotter, I wouldn't recommend this, but try it somewhere else first, like a trampoline or into a pool. So it's the same thing. You put one hand on the back for support, and the other on the leg to help rotate. Now I'll be demonstrating how to spot the backflip.
Once again, your first try will probably look like that. And then once you get more comfortable with it, you'll be able to land on your feet with the spotter's help.
Okay, so what you're supposed to do for the backflip is you're supposed to jump up high, stare at something, and then when on your way down, just as you start coming down, tuck and you rotate back. For the first couple of times, it's okay if you don't stare at something the whole time.
At first, it's just getting over the fear and helping you learn the technique for the backflip. And then you'll be able to make the technique better later on.
As you can see, I jumped up as high as I could. When I reached my peak, I stopped looking at what I was looking at, I tucked, and I rotated back. And when I landed, I tried to look at whatever I was looking at as soon as I could. Once again, if you don't have a spotter, just use a mat or something to cushion your fall.
Another way to practice is using a hill.
After a while, your backflip should look something like this. Thanks. I hope you found my tutorial useful. Please rate, comment, and subscribe.